Hello and welcome. I am Matt Roddy, and this is the Greater Prescott podcast, where we talk about, you guessed it, all things Greater Prescott. Today, I am super excited to get to show you these things, and thank you, Michelle Larsen, for being my guest today.
You're so welcome. I'm so glad to be here.
The backstory, before I get into that, what you're going to learn today is a little bit about Michelle's background, a little bit about how she got into this sort of work, which is wildly unique. I've never seen anything like it. She'll talk about what brought her to Greater Prescott, and we're just going to have a nice, fun conversation. Okay. So, Michelle, I really do appreciate your time. You're a busy business owner, just like most of us are, and so I do genuinely appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. In order to give the listeners some context on who you are and how you ended up doing some of this type of work, give them a little bit of your background, born and raised, some of the things you did as a child, and just give people a flavor of who you are.
Sure. Yeah, I'm from Michigan originally, and I moved around a lot, and then I ended up in Denver, Colorado. And then that's where I went to Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design.
Okay.
And I studied sign painting. And that was when signs were actually painted. So it was a long time ago.
Road signs,
like you know,
interior,
like big sign, you know, like your store sign.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Semis, billboards. They were all painted by hand.
My gosh.
That's a long time ago.
That's awesome.
It was in the 80s. Anyway.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, I painted billboards in Denver after I graduated from Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design. And so Billboard Painting is really unique because they take the panels down off of the highway, and they come in panels. It's not one just big piece.
Right, it's too big to
move. And then they bring them inside the studio, and then you create the billboard. And there's like, we painted houses, people, liquor bottles.
Yeah. And you can get paid for that, apparently.
Yes, you can get paid for that. And you use big brushes. Like
they have to be massive.
Yeah.
I mean, how big is a billboard?
It's huge.
I mean, because they're massive, so even the squares that
I
they take
think
down
they used
are huge.
4 by 24 panels, and there were multiple panels. I can't even tell you.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Right. So that was kind of fun, and so I did that for a while. And then, lettered semi-trucks and painted windows and that kind of thing.
Like when you say painted windows, like where you would walk by a business and on the outside of the window you'd see.
Like a car lot.
Yeah.
Has a window that's painted.
Totally.
Yes.
Man.
And so all that changed. And then
Really?
And then I was out of a job.
Because of printing?
Yeah, because everything's vinyl now or wallpaper or something.
Yeah, totally.
Stickers.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I was out of a job. And then I moved around a little bit more, and then I ended up in Idaho. And that's where I lived a lot of my time. In Idaho.
How many
Boise,
years?
Idaho. Probably 28, 30.
Oh, yeah. Long time.
Yeah.
I've heard great things about Idaho.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It's really pretty.
We had some friends that just moved up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I lived in a cabin in the woods. Anyway, I had elk in my yard every day. Yep. And that's where my so since I didn't have a job to paint signs, I did other things. I sold cars, houses. I started my own business. I had my business for 9 years, and that was gift baskets.
Okay.
And I had
weaving or
like you put them together with products, and then you send them off to somebody who just bought a house.
Yep, perfect.
Let's say. And I did that for 9 years. And I had 3 e-commerce websites.
Wow.
And then it grew. I did it out of my cabin.
Yeah.
Garage. And then it grew and grew and grew and grew. And then I had employees in my house. And then I moved it downtown Boise.
Okay.
And then it was just too busy. And then I sold it after a year when I opened my store in Boise.
Only a year
because
after.
you don't get a Christmas.
That's probably one of your busiest times.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, I had 8 employees. It's madness.
Oh my goodness!
It's madness.
People buy that many gift baskets.
It's madness. I've sold to out of, internationally.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it was like Idaho products.
Yeah.
And
which is actually really neat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's somewhat hand-picked, if you want to call it that.
Right. And one of the websites was called redneckgifts.net. And so I created products that were rednecky, for the gag.
Yeah.
And
what's one of the fun ones?
I can't even remember. it was like, okay, so I printed my own labels. I created labels that were like funny.
Yeah.
And anyway,
That's really
it was like
cute.
a huge deal. But when I retired, I was like, okay, I'm done with that. And then I was like, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
And then I thought, I'm going to go take a painting class just to see what it's like. Yeah.
You have nothing else to do,
Right,
right?
yeah. And it was like, one of those places where all the old people go and try to figure out how to paint, because they have nothing else to do. It was like that. And then I realized I could paint.
Okay.
Because I didn't know. And then
you had originally started painting.
But it was sign painting. It's totally different.
Yeah.
With big brushes.
Yeah, that hardly counts. I see what you mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, then once I figured out, I think I can paint. So it started as a hobby.
Yep.
And then it became bigger than that.
Okay. So tell us the steps that you take a class to paint. So people are looking at this going, you had to start somewhere. So you take a class.
Right.
You realize, hey, I've got some skills. And I like it. So then what?
So, I think I've been probably painting for like 12 years now.
Okay.
That's it. And I painted regular paintings for probably 1 year. And I thought, I'm really into this painting thing.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't want to be typical.
Mm-hmm.
And so
you did have redneck gift baskets.
Yeah.
That's not typical.
No, it's not. I'm always an out of the box thinker, that's for sure. So I thought, it took me about 2 weeks to come up with the idea to create something that used a texture, and it was paper. And then once I decided, okay, I'm going to use paper and glue, and I'm going to create a painting using paper and glue. And of course, it wasn't like this. It was flatter with a little texture. Okay. And then as the years went on, it became bigger, more protruding, and more textured. And then it just became like all out 3D.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what happened. Okay. And since I have done this, I've been on a cover of a magazine.
Okay.
I was named Top 60 Masters of Contemporary Art worldwide twice with Art Tour International Magazine. I've won the Palm Art Award twice, which is out of Germany. And in fact, I was nominated for it again, and that was just 2 days ago.
Oh.
Yes, and I've also been
Louise.
published in another magazine in Minneapolis and various other things.
Yeah. So in your relatively short career.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And it really stems from the fact that it's different.
Amen.
And unusual, and it's, there's a lot of great artists out there.
Of course.
But if you've seen it, it doesn't stand out as much, but it's still beautiful. Yes. But people are like, oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
But when it's 3D and it pops out, it tends to make people stand up and go, wow, what's that?
Exactly. Yep. There's a lot of a similar thing is there's a lot of good musicians out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good voices and people who can play guitar.
Right.
But I always tell my wife, that guy or that gal, I think is going to be good because they're unique. I always use the U word. It's really, really important to somehow separate yourself and being unique, whether you like it or not. The fact is they're different. And this is different.
Yeah. And, there's a fear about being different. So a lot of people shy away from being different because they don't know how it's going to be.
I struggle with it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So, but I think it's great to be different. I don't care what it is. Just be different.
Yep.
Just let it flow.
I know. And I've got young kids, so it's important, I think, that Emily and I speak to that. Hey, guys.
Right.
It's good to be different.
It is good to be different.
I forgot to set the context for the listeners. My wife and I were on a date night, downtown Prescott. We came into your first gallery
location.
Yes. And I was immediately hooked because of the uniqueness of it. Like, end of story. And
it pops out. Who has a painting that actually pops off the canvas?
I've never seen anything like that. So ever since then, I've always enjoyed looking at your work. And then when I reached out to you, you were very enthusiastic to be on the podcast, because this is the kind of stuff that I just love, and I love bringing exposure to it.
That's great. Thank you.
So what would you call this? Is there a style?
Yeah, it's called a sculpted canvas.
Okay.
Of course, I named it.
You have to.
You're
the only one.
I'm the only person doing it, so everything is new.
Yeah. Is anyone trying to copy you yet?
I've seen a variation, but it's very sparse.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, but other than that, no. Or they build it up with something else, like a putty or something. But
Gotcha.
It doesn't have the same look because it doesn't have the wrinkles and all the paper look.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So give people a sense of what it takes to put together a piece like this, from the beginning stages to when you finally hang it up.
Yeah. Okay. So I draw it out on the canvas, what I want, and then I create it with tissue paper, which is really, it's the kind that you put in a gift bag.
Yeah.
The white.
Okay.
Really thin tissue paper, and then glue, and I use a brush with the glue, and then I take paper and I glue it on, and I create a sculpture on canvas with paper. Yeah, and a lot of people think that there's stuff underneath it that builds it. No, it's all pure paper.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's all white, and then when it's done, I prime it and then I paint it.
All right.
Yeah, and then I generally paint the inside of the creases first, and then I paint another layer and then another layer. So it takes a while. It's probably somewhere between 2 weeks for a smaller one to 3 months for a larger one.
Is this a larger one?
Yes.
I would imagine.
Yes.
Okay.
This particular painting here was at the New York Expo.
Wow.
A couple years ago, and also at a New York gallery.
Okay.
And I've also had paintings in Miami, showing in Miami and France.
Wow.
And also Las Vegas.
How does that work? Meaning, does someone
people contact me
reach
and
out
say,
to you, they're putting something together,
and a lot of the awards ceremonies, they really want a painting there for the award ceremony.
That makes sense. Interesting, man. So, what's it feel like to be 12 years into being an artist and to have the gallery that we're sitting in?
Yeah. Okay. So I had my paintings in other galleries throughout the United States. And
which I imagine is kind of the typical, you work out of your studio from your house and you put together pieces and you put them in places to...
Right, and they mark them up, and then you get 50% of the profits.
Yep.
All right, typical, and you just wait for them to sell something.
Yep.
And, it was fine. It was fine. I've sold stuff. In fact, I sold a lot of things at Anchorage. Yeah.
This looks like something that would go perfect.
Yeah, that would. Did never hung in Anchorage, but yeah. And then Jackson Hole, Wyoming, I sold quite a few things too. But when I moved to Prescott, I was like, I love this town. I got to have a gallery here.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? It's time for me to have my own thing.
Okay.
And so I took everything from all the galleries that I was showing at and brought them here. And I'm exclusive here.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's fun.
I bet. There's also other words that you can describe having a gallery. It's the challenges and all that kind of stuff.
But it's mostly fun.
Good. What's so fun about it?
Because when somebody walks in the gallery, this is the first thing they see.
Yeah.
And
that was me.
Everybody,
that was Emily.
Everybody, pretty much, at least 99% of the people are like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. This is amazing.
Yep.
And okay, that alone, is worth opening your own gallery and sitting here and watching that.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's really fun.
Yeah. You actually give people a sense of where we are in the Prescott area and tell them about the gallery, and let's also get into who else is showing at the gallery.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the gallery, my partner, Roger Moore, and we run it together. And, it was kind of scary to open the gallery because it's like, okay, art gallery, it's really hard to make money in an art gallery.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're doing it. We're doing it. We're selling paintings. And then we had a few people contact us. Some people got in, some people didn't.
Okay.
And then there were a lot of people who walked through and said, I'm an artist. I say, let me look at your art, please.
Yes.
And then they said, sure. And they showed me their art. And then I said, I'd love to carry your art here. And so a lot of the artists are from Prescott, and a lot of the artists are not anywhere else, but here they're exclusive at the gallery. And then there's a few people, like one artist is from Nashville.
All right.
And then there's an artist from Phoenix, but mostly everybody's from Prescott. And there's somebody from Black Canyon City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they've done some sales too. So
good.
Yeah, it's good.
That's the whole goal.
Yeah, that's the whole goal. Yes, it's very exciting.
Absolutely. Being an artist, I think I'm going to ask a question I think you've already answered. Sounds like one of the funnest things for you, something that just gives you so much pleasure is when someone walks in and just, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And even if they don't buy anything, it's okay with me. They always are so, that's one thing about Prescott people and the people in Arizona too. They are genuine.
Okay.
And they say, I love your work. Thank you so much for showing it. Thanks for putting it on display for us to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a treat for them.
It is.
Yes. And so I'm thrilled about that.
Yeah, that's great. I would say only in the last 5 years have I started to have an appreciation for art. And I can now say that I can walk into a gallery like this or any around town and just and enjoy it and just find a way to go, wow, someone created that.
Right.
Like, it was blank.
Right.
And boom, they created that. And there's something just really special about that.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of people are nervous to walk into a gallery. Not sure why, but they, they're like, oh, I don't know, it's too precious, or it's like a museum or something. But a gallery should be enjoyed, and people should just walk in and just enjoy the experience and soak it up. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I could not agree more. But there is also, the artwork in here's not free. So there's also a sense of, I could see why people are a little nervous to walk in.
Yeah, because they think, oh, I got to buy something.
Or just, I don't know, it's expensive and I don't know. No, I get it. But no, it's fun that you have that attitude. Like, just come in and just enjoy it. Like, ultimately, you're probably not going to buy it. Probability says you're not going to get it.
Right.
But just enjoy it.
Right.
Walk out here knowing that you saw something really unique and fun.
Yeah.
And it brought you pleasure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I love all the remarks. And they don't fall for just my work.
Of course not.
They love everything in here. And I am kind of specific about what comes in here.
Good.
It has to be kind of special. It has to be really good art.
Yep. Not
just mediocre.
Yep.
And so I'm really proud of that.
Good.
Yeah. They just love everything, and I'm just happy that people are happy.
Right?
Yeah.
No, seriously, that's actually partly why I enjoy doing the podcast, is because I hopefully get to learn some new things that bring me a smile and make me happy, and I hope to bring that to other people as well. Like, that's a large part of just it. Just the fact that you painted billboards, that you painted semi trucks, like the things you learn about people is just so fun and unique.
Yeah, I have a funny story.
Go for it.
So when I was painting billboards and signs and all that, I wore these overalls, the kind that you wear like when you're on the farm.
Did Bill Ross wear?
I don't know.
The painter
guy?
I
think he did.
That just
I know. Okay, so I always had paint like all over me. I wore the same ones every day. And so it was one evening, it was Halloween. I went into the grocery store, buy some stuff. I don't think I was planning on doing anything that night. I just got off of work and I was wearing the outfit. These people were all commenting, "What a great costume."
Oh, funny.
I know. Yeah, and then it was my work clothes.
Totally. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
My kids would say something like that. I have no clue. But you probably fit the bill really well, and it was Halloween.
It was a long time ago, too.
Where's the inspiration come from?
Well, I like to do portraits.
Okay.
And I like to do dramatic portraits and stuff that's kind of historic.
Okay.
You know, like the one that's behind you is the Aviator, which is an old, pilot.
Yeah.
Back in the day. This one here is based on the Game of Thrones
Okay.
show. It's called Man of the North. It's not anybody famous and it's nobody on the show, but it was, inspired by the Game of Thrones.
Tell us some of your other pieces, just so that people have a sense of what they can see.
Right.
When
I
they
have
come in.
Florals, big flower paintings, animals.
All right.
I do a lot of animals. It seems like every time I do an owl, it sells. So I don't have any owls.
Owls are
And
just so
a
stinking
buffalo.
cute.
Every time I do a buffalo, it sells.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, I sell a lot of paintings because people just love the work.
Yeah. That's why I will probably never forget this work.
Yeah.
Because it's just so unique.
Yeah. And it does leave a mark.
Absolutely. Literally, yes. No kidding. What is it about the greater Prescott area that how long have you been here? What brought you here and what keeps you here aside from now you're a gallery owner?
Right. Well, when I moved from Idaho, I went to Sedona. I thought I wanted to live in Sedona. And, it was nice. I love Sedona.
It's very unique.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people there, and it seemed really expensive. And then I found Prescott, and I was like, I love it here. Because it's down to earth, love the people. I like the quaintness of the town. I like the fact there's a lot of art here.
There is.
And then when I opened the gallery, and I didn't know this, but there are a lot of art lovers here.
Okay.
And that made it even more special.
Yeah.
But yeah, I lived here probably about a year and a half.
Okay.
I built a house here.
Yay.
So I'm definitely here to stay.
You're not going
I'm not going anywhere.
That is so fun.
Yeah. I feel at home here. It's comfortable.
Good. That you brought up the art culture here in this area.
A lot of galleries.
Speak to it, because you're right. If you walk around downtown, you are not the only gallery.
And there's a lot of people who come here from out of town just for the galleries.
Really?
Evidently, yeah. And I didn't know that. But yeah, they go. I could hear people, listen to people talk, and they say, "Oh, don't you love it here? This is why I want to move here, because the art here is so great." Or, "Don't you love coming here because the art is so wonderful?" And I feel honored to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I feel really good about the fact that I'm bringing something unique to the Prescott area that they have never seen before. And I'm just, happy that I kind of brought it and introduced it.
And now that you can be a part of
to get to Prescott. Yeah.
Amen. I agree. And I've lived here 2 years, so a couple
Really?
months longer than you, not very long. And it was evident really early that there was a big art culture. There's also a music culture. There's a mountain bike culture. We have just a unique area that brings. Not that art is unique in a sense, but we do have a pretty big subculture of artists, art lovers.
Yeah, and the way the town's set up, people like to come into the town and then just explore it.
Yep.
And the art is a huge part of it.
I agree. Do you know other gallery owners? What's your relationship? Like, how's that?
Yeah, I don't really know very many artists or art gallery owners. I mean, just the ones that are involved with the gallery.
Okay. All right. There's two more things before we close up. The first is tell everyone where we physically are, how they can contact you, website, and things like that. Give them kind of all that.
Right. This is the gallery is the Parlor Fine Art Gallery, and it's located at 105 East Gurley Street.
Okay.
And it's on the same block as the Elks Theater.
Yep. Yeah, just a stone's throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, renovated.
Yes.
The gallery space. It didn't look this good, but it looks great.
You guys did. Hey, Roger, you included. You guys did a great job here.
Yeah, we did.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and there's a lot of sitting places, and it's just really comfortable. And we have a vault, so
Yeah.
Anyway, so and the website is www.parlorartgallery.com.
Okay.
And then I also have my website, which is my portfolio, and that is poetrypainting.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did that name come from?
Poetry painting?
Yeah.
That's because I actually wrote poetry before I painted.
Okay.
And then when I started painting, I thought I'll just start my own website. Yeah. Not that at this point I wasn't going anywhere. Right. I just was
a
it's
place
a hobby.
to put it.
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
a place to put it. And I've won a lot of actual awards for the poetry too. Yeah, and somehow I want to incorporate both of those in a painting. The painting and then the words. So you can actually go up to a painting.
Go into this just a little. So what are your thoughts? Because this is super unique and exciting.
Yeah, I mean, like you could go to a painting and see maybe a tree or something, and there would be a lot of empty space, and that's where the poem would be.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, and it would be written out into the painting. Yeah, I've always wanted to do that, and I don't know what's stopping me, but I'll get there.
All right. That's great.
Yeah, and then someday I also want to expand on the Parlor Art Gallery. And
what's your vision?
My vision is to have a new space, larger. Have a stage. Have poetry night one night. Have acting night one night.
Yeah.
Like skits, a play somebody wrote. Have songwriting night, like you play the song that you wrote.
Yes.
And like every night would be something unusual and different, but you would be able, it would give you a voice.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then it would be a place where you could have beer or wine or whatever, and you could it would be loungy.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
And then there was a stage, an actual stage, a microphone. You could sit there, you could tell your poems or, recite your poems.
I love it.
Don't you?
I love it.
I do too. And nobody's ever done it. I thought of this by myself, and I've never seen it anywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's a creative space.
I was just going to say, it's a place where creatives can come in a safe environment, be around like-minded people.
Right. And there would be also art. But you would go in and I think that the whole artistic voice is special. And I don't think a lot of people can experience that. There's more art galleries. There's no place for people to say, hey,
that's it.
I have a poem I want to recite.
Right.
I have a skit that I wrote.
Yep.
I have a song that
There's very few environments that offer people the opportunity, literally the stage, to be themselves.
Yes.
Let their creativity flow, probably for the first time since they were a kid or something along those lines. And that's really powerful.
I think so. I mean, I think people get stuck because they want to, and they can't say it.
Right.
Yeah. And it would be called The Parlor. The Parlor. Yeah. And
Michelle,
the parlor is based on the old sitting room that you would see like in a hotel or a Victorian.
Gotcha.
The parlor is the sitting room, right? And it would be like a sitting room.
Man, I like where your mind is going, Michelle.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah, and that's my vision.
It's a vision of a place where literally the community can gather.
Yes.
And that's really powerful.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm checking back in and I don't know, a year to see how that thought is still working out. That's really exciting.
Yeah. Cool.
To finish up, I'm going to ask you 7 questions, and you just answer with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay, here we go.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing about Greater Prescott?
The town and the cuteness of it.
What's your favorite restaurant in Greater Prescott?
The Teratai.
What's the number one thing on your Greater Prescott bucket list?
Oh, bucket list. Oh, I guess starting the parlor.
Okay.
In one of these old buildings.
Man. And that would add so much character.
Wouldn't it?
Oh.
It just belongs here.
Yep, it does.
Totally.
What is your favorite all-time piece of artwork?
Probably a Van Gogh portrait of himself.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about mine or somebody?
No, someone else's.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
What's yours? What's the
in my realm,
the piece
probably
that you created?
the Man of the North.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are 3 words to describe living in Greater Prescott?
Casual.
Mm-hmm.
Natural. The natural world. Relaxed.
Okay. If you weren't an artist, then what would you be?
Oh man, a pilot? No, I'm just kidding. What would I be? A movie star?
Okay. You've got the charisma, I think.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah.
What else is there? No,
I don't know. And last question: What's your favorite summer activity in Greater Prescott?
Kayaking, probably.
Which lake?
Links.
Okay. Awesome. It's so much fun to ask these questions and get everyone. A lot of people get to the restaurants and go, I can't name just one, or like, and I'm really excited to go back to the question, what are 3 words you use to describe Greater Prescott, and be able to put all those together. So many of them are the same. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons we like being here.
Right.
Is it's
right.
relaxed. It's
comfortable.
There's nature. It's friendly.
Right.
Community and things like that. So as we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to share with the people?
The people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just, come and look at the paintings in their form in person, because you can't really picture them until you see them in person.
Right.
And, okay, so I have to tell you about the eyes.
Okay.
The eyes are painted right on the canvas. So they're inset. And when they're inset, they have a tendency to follow you. So when you walk from one end to the other, they're like...
Yeah.
So that alone is worth visiting for.
Yeah. Which is free, by the way.
Yeah, which is free.
That's really neat.
And we are casual here. Roger and I both run the gallery, and we're very casual and fun, and there's no pressure ever.
Yeah. Well, that's how it's felt ever since I've interacted with you and Roger, which is great.
Yeah.
Which may go a little bit against the normal art gallery.
Yeah.
So, guys, please come in, meet Michelle. You can't see Roger, but meet Roger. Come check out all of the unique artwork. I think that's one reason or one thing that makes you guys so unique is the unique artwork.
Yeah.
I use the word all the time, but it makes a big difference.
Yes.
Period.
It does. Yeah.
So again, she's right here on Gurley Street, right next to Elks Theater. Hop on the website. I'll put all the information in there.
Okay.
So you guys, please check them out. Please come by. And I hope you learned something that you didn't know before. And I hope it gave you a reason to get off your tushy and get in here and enjoy even other art galleries in the area too.
Right. Absolutely.
Michelle, thank you so much for your time.
Matt.
Have a great day.
Thanks.